Many programs require some sort of logic flow control between the commands in the script. There is a whole command class that allows the script to skip over executed commands based on test condition. So these commands are generally referred to as structured commands. Structured commands. So let's start working with these kind of structured commands. One of the most basic type of structured command is the if then statement. You can clearly see on the screen the if then statement will have the following format. It begins with if uh, keyword, then a command, and after that we'll write then, and after that we will take indentation and we'll give some more commands. Then finally we will close this statement, if then statement, with fi. So let's take a simple example to demonstrate this concept. For example, we'll write if we'll take the following example and write let's write this file and execute it. Okay, vim, we will name it as test1.shi. So let's add shebang first, then bin bash, then come down a bit more. So let's give comment. So it's to demonstrate the if then statement. Then let's give if, and command is pwd. Then after that, then if it works, then what you want to do, echo it worked, then get back and close the statement. So wq, so give the permission to execute it first, w, and then test1.sh. So execution permissions were given to the shell, and let's see what's going to happen. So now if you execute this script now, but before that, what this script consists of, this script uses the pwd, that's a present working directory command on the if line. If the command completes successfully with a right exit status code, then the echo statement should display the text string. When you run this script from the command line, you get the following result. We should get it. Let's see what's going to happen. So it will show you the uh, directory, present working directory, and then it will also print the string that we have mentioned in the then section. Okay, let's get into the WSL and execute the script. It's test1.sh. Here it is. This is our directory. That's a present working directory. And here the one which is mentioned in the then section. So it has worked successfully. Now the shell executed the pw command listed in the if line because the exit status was 0. If the exit status code was something else, then it might not have done the same thing. So here the exit status code was 0, so that's the reason the pwd was printed, and then it also executed the echo statement that is listed in the then section. So now let us try with different exit status code in if line or if section, and we'll see what's going to happen. So the following code that we are going to write, so we will name it as vim test2.sh, and sorry, I'll put shebang first, bin bash, and then space and commenting. This is to demonstrate if then with uh, exit status code, and then we will write the code. If lam no to command something else, whatever, it doesn't matter, then echo it worked, then close it, close the statement, and chmod wo plus x and test2.sh, and let's execute and see what's gonna happen. Test2 dot sorry test2.sh. Here it is. What it is saying, lam no to command not found. That's it. That's where it ended. So echo, okay, we'll add one more statement. We are outside the if statement, because if whatever command that you mentioned, it comes up with if it comes up with the other than 0 exit status code, there are three other exit status code. If it is not 0 exit status code, then it won't enter into that statement itself, it will directly come out. So that's the reason we'll do small modification in vim, and then we will add the final statement. That's echo we are outside of the if statement, and let's close it and execute it one more time. Here it is, the command not found, and we are outside of the if statement. So this is how your if then statement works. So then we will do one more exercise which is related, a simple exercise which is related to if then statement. Then we'll write a file, a name called vim 4 hyphen 4_0 if then.sh. So this is our file. First shebang, bin bash is done. Then our first module is testing the if statement. If then it worked, same thing, we have put it into this. And in addition to that, one more module that I have added is here. Okay, so read and parental enter number and num. So this is another, in spite of the simple command that we have put it in if section, here I have put an expression altogether. Okay, so it will take an input, we have to enter a number, then the expression compares whether it is greater than 100 or not. If it is, then it's going to execute other whatever statements which are there in then section, or else it will simply get out of the statement. Let's see. WQ, and let me give the chmod for this file that we have just created, and then the file name is 4-0, and then if then. So we gave the permission. Let's execute and see what's going to happen. 4_0. Sorry. Yes, here it is. So let me make it bigger. If then statement, it has worked. If then statement, there was an error, then it directly came out of the if statement. The next if statement that we have used is, we have to enter a number. First we will enter the number which is lesser than 100, and we'll see what's going to happen. I will enter 45, which is lesser than 100. So script execution completed successfully. So it did not enter inside that, it just came out. So now what we'll do is we'll enter more than 100, 125. So we have entered inside the if block. That's what I just want to say. That's it. You will enter inside the if block, and then whatever commands that you have mentioned in the then section all got executed. So, and finally the script execution is completed. The script execution completed was outside the if then statement. So that's how you can prove it. If the first section, if section exit status code is 0, then it's going to execute all the commands which are mentioned in the then section. If the exit status code of the if command, the command which is inside the if is not 0, then it's not going to execute the commands which are mentioned inside the then section. So let me execute one more time just to have some fun, nothing else. Okay, so here it's asking a number. This time I'll give 76. Let's see what's going to happen. Oh, it directly came out of the if then statement. Okay, again we'll execute. This time I'll say 245 and see what's going to happen. So we have entered inside the if block, you see here. Then it has printed date and it has printed something else. And then let's do little modification in the same file, vim, and I want to add additionally with data, with with date, I want to add uptime as well as, and who am I. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen now. So that's it, and I'll press 250. We have entered inside the if block. Now one by one the commands which I have mentioned inside the then the inside the then section all got executed. Date, uptime, and who am I? I'm the root user. Everything. I hope it's clear for you. So now we'll explore the if then else statement altogether. Till now we have seen only if then statement. Now we will also see if then in addition with else. Okay, so in the if then statement you have only one option for whether a command is successful. If the command returns a non-zero exit status code, the bash shell starts move on to the next command in the script. In this situation, it would be a nice to be able to execute an alternate set of commands. That's exactly if what the if then else statement is for. So then the if then else statement provides another group of commands in the statement. So let's go through it. It looks like the following way that you are able to see on the screen. If and then command, then after that the then section starts. In then section you can mention few commands, and after that you go to the else section. In else section also you can mention one or two commands, and then finally you close the if then else statement with fi. So what happens here, when the command in the if statement, here it is, in the if statement line in this section returns with a 0 exit status code, 0 exit status code, the commands which are listed in the then section, that is here in the then section, are executed just as in a normal if then statement. What happens if you get a non-zero exit status code? That's my question. That is going to be handled by else. When the command in the if section, this part returns a non-zero exit status code, then the bash shell executes the commands in the else section, and then it will get out of the if then else statement. I hope it's pretty clear for you. So what will we do is uh, uh, we will do one exercise in if then else statement before we jump into the uh, elif. Okay, let me clear the screen first. If you want, I will make it smaller and I will put it on left side of it. Okay, we will vim it now. We'll write a vim. Okay, now let me clear the screen again. Okay, just quit it. Oh, that's the reason. Okay, now yeah, vim, and then the name of the file that I'm going to write is 4_1, and it is if then else, if then else dot sh. Yes, so let me completely go up. This is our shebang, and here is the bash shell that we have mentioned where the following commands to be executed, and here is our first module. So what's the first module? Testing the if then else statement all together. So first, if then else statement, test user is the variable and the value for the test user variable is no such user. Then this is our if statement, if then else statement. Okay, if is our keyword. Then after that we used grep, a command. Grep is a command, and after that we attached a variable, that's a test user variable, and then we just want to check that variable is, it's a pattern basically, test whether we have it in a etc passwd file or not. I think I have explained maybe 50 times 60 times about the passwd file because it's very much important for a system administrator. So that's the reason I have explained this file more than 50 times in my previous modules. So kindly go and watch those modules and come back here. Okay, so then the then section starts here. In this we have write echo the bash files for the user, test user are this, and then finally lsa hyphen, again one more echo, and else section starts from here. In else section what we have written is echo the user, test user is the variable, does not exist on the system. Let's see what's going to happen. If we have this user, test user, it's going to print whatever we are expecting in then section, or else it will directly come to else statement and it will say that there is no such user in passwd file. Then we are closing it. This is our first exercise. Let's execute the first exercise and we'll see, and after that we will move into the second exercise. Okay, so let's give uh, permissions to the shell to execute this file first. So chmod o plus x, and we'll have 4_1. Okay, so we have given the permission. Let's execute and see what's going to happen. Sorry, yeah. So if then forget about the other one. So here we have to enter, that's a second module. I'm not talking about that module at this moment. So here first we just want to check the if then else statement. So anyway, passwd, this system anyway does not have a user name as no such user. So no such user, with that username nobody is there. So that's the reason it did not go to then statement, then section. It directly came to else, and then whatever that we have mentioned in else has been printed. So the user, no such user does not exist on this system. Okay, so now we will do vim again of the same file, and let's do a small modification in this. Here it is. Let's add a run and let's close it. Let's see, let's execute the file again one more time. Yes, it is I'll make it bigger. You enjoy the fun of scripting with me. Yep, we have two users. Surya Charanteja is one user, Charan is another user, and whatever we have asked, the command that we have mentioned in then section has been printed, else has been completely neglected, completely avoided. You see, his home Charan, that's his home directory for Charan, that's been given here. Okay, so that's how you use if then else statement. Okay, sorry. Now let me clear the screen, and then again I'll do vim. I'll vim it. I'll vim the file. Then let's understand the second module of the same. So in second module, what we have done, so we have to enter a number. It's asking for an input. For that we use a read, basically read command. That's fine. Now if we gave a arithmetic expression or logical expression, if the number that we provide, that we give, if it is greater than 100, then of course, it's, if it is correct, then it will give you 0 exit status code. Then we will enter into the then section. Then whatever commands that we have given in then section will be executed. And then if not that case, if the exit status code of if statement is not a 0, then it will directly go to the else, and then it will execute the commands which we have mentioned in the else. Let's see what's going to happen. So let me execute the file. Okay, I'll give 45. If 45 means it's not lesser than 100, 45 is lesser than 100, it's not greater than 100. So because of that, the exit status code is not 0, so it should not go into the then section. It should directly go to the else, and it has to print, and then it should get out of the if then else statement. Let's see what's going to happen. Yes, that's what happened. At 45, you have entered the number which is less than 100. This is what we have mentioned in the else. Then finally it got out of the if then else statement, and whatever you have mentioned outside of the if then else statement has been printed. That's the script execution completed successfully. So we'll execute the file again one more time, but this time with the number which is greater than 100, that's 150. Let's see what's going to happen. So we have entered in a if block. Now whatever that we have mentioned inside the if block has been a then block. The then section has been executed. So your number is greater than 100, and then we have mentioned date there, so we can see the date. And then else has been neglected completely because we got the 0 exit status code in if statement, in if section. Okay, so now we will move on to nesting ifs. Instead of having to write separate if then statements, you can use an alternative version of the else section, that's called elif. So the elif continues an else section with another if then statement. So let's look into the syntax of the elif. So if, and then as usual command will come, then after the then section, and then elif, again commands. Then if you use a elif, you can put another then section. That's the, and you can add more commands. And finally you can close this whole statement with fi, okay, fi. So the elif statement line provides another command to evaluate, similar to the original if statement line. So it's like adding one more if then statement to the if then statement. So here, this is your first part of if then statement. If you add a elif here, so you can add one more condition, one more if kind of condition. Of course it is if, but still it's a if condition. Then again one more then section to execute. If this happens, If this happens, you execute the things which are there here, or else if this the second condition happens, then execute the execute the commands which are there in this then section. That's what fundamentally this if then else statement do. So if the exit status code from the elif command is 0, then the bash executes the commands in the second then statement section also. So now what will we do is we will go for one more exercise on nesting ifs, or we can call it as if then elif statement. Okay. Yeah, we will get back to the WSL. Let me clear the screen and then Vim it again. Vim. This time it's 4_2 if then elif dot sh. So let me go up. Shebang. Bin bash. First activity is done. Then the first module in this is testing the if then else statement. Of course, that's done. And then if then else, this is also if then else. Okay. Yep. Let me close this. Vim 4 3. This is comparison operator. That's fine. Vim if cd vim if then elif dot sh. Okay. Bin bash if it'll take it'll give the command directly pwd, then execute ls or execute who am I, then elif. One more command here. We will give one more command which is not there, so I'll give a wrong command. That's gone. Then again one more, then here I'll add who, then finally fi. Let's see how it works. Chmod o plus x if then elif, then if then elif dot sh. That's it. PWD, you got the exit status code as 0. So then in then section that we have mentioned in first one, first then section, that's who am I, that got the root user. Whereas in second if statement, because this is nesting ifs now, in second if the command that we have mentioned as a given a non-zero exit status code, that is the reason it was completely avoided. So let's do a little modification. So in this I will add one more command. I'll add okay, pwd is added on top. ls I'll add, and let's close it, and wq. Let's okay. Anyway, the first one is done. Yep, here it is. So the first one, that's how it works. A nesting ifs or if then elif. Here the first line, the first if statement is not working. It has thrown a non-zero exit status code, so there is no command such. So that's the reason the then was neglected completely. Then it moved to elif. Then it has moved to elif statement, and then it had executed the commands that were mentioned within the then statement also. However, if the first if statement, if that throws a not zero exit status code, then it is not going to execute the second if statement or elif statement. That's how it works. So if you just want to uh, experiment more, so here will I'll put correct statement, correct command, and let's see what's going to happen. Here it is. Only the first one has been executed and the second one has been neglected. So that's how it skipped the second elif, or this elif, the second section, the elif section has been neglected. This is how the nesting if or elif works.